Hey, welcome to another update on Archmage Rises. It is my privilege to show you the new combat system that we have been working on for over 4 months. It is possible for you to download it in Steam right now on the testing branch, and you can see the article that goes along with this video for details on what the password is, how you do that. Also the things like what the shortcut keys are to do it. This build is still a work in progress. We still have a lot more to do, and some of the things that you'll see are still placeholder, but overall this will give you an idea of how the game is going. So what was the situation? We had a pretty boring combat system, didn't have a lot of options. You always had to create a shield and then start shooting your spells at people. And we have built a lot of new systems, layered in a lot of tactical options, and so now you can see that. Now, big shout out to Josh, who has taken all these combat systems and turned them into 5 interesting scenarios for you to play out. Each one is different, shows you different aspects of the combat system, and so we call this the Gauntlet. And I don't know, maybe we'll add this to the game some way that you can just go and do random arena battles or something. But anyway, you can play 5 different scenarios, and I will show you the first one here, and then leave it up to you on how you're going to play through the other ones. All of them are completable, but they all require different kinds of thinking and choices. So we got a couple new things going on here. We have things in the battlefield that you can hit and damage, including this chest. So when combat is launched from the world, there could be items in a dungeon room that now appear on the combat scene, and if you damage them accidentally, burn them down, whatever, then you could be potentially wrecking things in the game world. So we have a bunch of new options here, and if I hold my mouse over the enemies, it shows me some of their new stats, some of the resistances, and this is telling me that these guys are resistant to fire, so fire only does 50% damage to them, but they are weak to poison and storm spells. So I do have a storm spell here, and I'm going to class Lightning Bolt. Now, I just hired a new artist, Ruby, who is helping on the project, and she is a visual effects artist, and she is going to be doing our special effects for the spells. So don't expect to see some lightning bolts coming out of this, because all you're going to get is a little poof effect that I created as a placeholder just so you could see where the spells were going off. But Ruby is busy working on nice looking spells. So we will choose this. Now lightning is a air spell, or sorry, a storm spell. Storm spells are inherently risky in that they can do a lot of damage, but they might not do any damage. So I'm taking a chance with these 7 random spots will be hit by lightning. So let's see what happens. I don't think it hit a single enemy. I hit barrels, I hit the chest, but I didn't hit any enemies. Okay, so key to these scenarios, they're a little bit like puzzles, except there's multiple solutions. I only have so much health and stamina going into this. Now, they've lined themselves up at the front real nice, so I am going to use my fire spray. And they're resistant to fire, but it sure is fun to hit 3 of them at the same time. Let's see, I got 32 stamina. Yeah, I guess I'll go for this. Okay, let's hit them. Oh, look, they talk now. The numbers floating up show you how much damage you did and how much damage they resisted. So the 3 is the red fire-based damage that I did, and the 3 gray is how much was resisted by them. We can also get more details on our enemies. So I can cast this Arcane Insight. It does a couple of things. One is it increases the lore level, so I can see a number of traits on them that explains how they function. I can look to see the resistances. I can then see this buff that's been applied to them. I can see how many turns that it is going to last. And not only does it give me more information about them, but it also reduces their dodge and increases my accuracy to hit them with a weapon. I don't have any weapons in this particular scenario, just punching with my fists. So that's no good. You can hit escape in order to cancel casting. That's a new thing that we added. Let's see here. Okay, I got Sandblast. So I don't want these guys to hit me. Sandblast will do some damage, but it will has a high chance of blinding them. So let's do that. So look at that, the whole row. All right, one of them just ran away. So that's a special feature of goblins, is that when they take a lot of damage, when they see their kin taking a lot of damage, they just run away. So that's an easy way to beat them. But okay, so I hit spacebar in order to pass my turn. You can see it now announces the action that the enemies are taking. Only one of them is blinded, so he has an accuracy penalty. Okay, let's ping them off with my magic missile. Good old magic missile. Okay, I got 17, so I gotta cast this in the low end. Okay, which guy can I take out? They're all at 5. This guy's not blinded, so I'll take him out. Okay, now we see corpses on the ground, and corpses actually matter. And there are things enemies can do with corpses, and potentially things that you can do with a corpse. So that's why we show the corpses on the ground now. I guess I'll try another Sandblast. It's only going to do 1 damage. Okay. I also have the chance of doing a Blizzard, which would slow them. I'll just hit them again. Oh, they're running away. So the tough one ran away. So that is a valid tactic when you're fighting goblins. You don't have to take down the hard guys. You can just shoot the little guys and maybe scare them off. Okay, pass on to the next turn. So he's blind, and he's just randomly moving around. So you might be wondering, why didn't he attack you? That's why, because of the blind status. So I still have blind for another turn. Now I can just punch him in the nose. Got him! Okay, now we see our battle results. So when we cast spells, when we do things, we earn experience points. And those experience points can be used later to buy spells and upgrades to spells. There's a whole bunch of upgrades to spells that you can't see here. Also, it was possible to get loot. Now, there wasn't any loot in this particular one, but sometimes it does drop, and so you can get the loot. So people have been asking for that. And that is the first scenario. So I will leave it to you to figure out the second scenario. It is much different, and you have all new spells here. You don't even have the... Actually, you don't have any of the same spells in this one. This one's much more clever. So I leave that to you to enjoy, and give us some feedback if you like the direction that we're going here, if you find some interesting combinations. And we will continue working on this. This is a preview of Build 13. And finally, I asked last week about articles versus videos. I've decided that I'm going to do videos when there's something video worthy, which is going to be probably roughly once a month. Otherwise, I'm going to write articles, which is more about kind of the day-to-day running an indie studio, challenges in the game, design decisions, those things, which are much better read than they are talked about in a video. So that's what's going to happen. So there's always, for a video, there's always a link to the full article on the website, if you didn't know that. And usually there's a lot more information on the website. So in this case, the password in order to be able to download this particular combat build. Okay, that is it, and I hope you enjoy. See ya.